Hello, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the final, grand final matchup of the Night Serpent eSports tournament, integral part of the Level Up 2026, powered by Dialog Gaming, organized by Levelstair in collaboration with the CSSL GenZ chapter and the Rotaract Club of UCSC. Tonight will be the matchup between the two finalist teams, Panic Mode and Death and Taxes, two teams who are actually having a bit of a reach in these finals as well. So, looking forward to it, hoping for a grand matchup. And joining me tonight will be Cyrex as my co-caster. Cyrex, what are we expecting from these two teams tonight?
Thank you, Rick, for giving me the mic. So I think this is going to be a really interesting match because we did see these two teams performing really well throughout this whole tournament. Panic Mode, we really did see that yesterday's match on Panic Mode really settled down the tournament very easily. We did see beautiful matchup from Ezra, False God, Mantis, Fishes, Callie, and Zeno. And speaking of this team, we did so yesterday. There was a beautiful stall from False God himself. I think he might be the star of this in this team. It seems so. We also do have team Death and Taxes, and also we did see very exceptional gameplay from them as well in this whole past tournament. They have an excellent team. Matchup, and also they have really good tankers as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see because these two teams are also really close with each other. So they might know each other's gameplay as tactics as well. So it might be really difficult to check the bans and protections as well in this whole tournament. So this is going to be really interesting, and they might have to change their team composition as well.
That is true. A matchup between friends, as we are looking at it as well. People who know each other quite a bit. With Panic Mode being most likely the popular pick for the win tonight on this grand finals as well. But I do believe Death and Texas has some magic up their sleeves as well. And I'm expecting quite an interesting matchup. And as you mentioned, yes, the player to watch on the side of Panic Mode will be False God, the DPS player that you see. And he has been having such an excellent performance throughout this entire tournament, along with the rest of Panic Mode as well. And on the side of Death and Taxes, we've got Kimbala, also another DPS player, a player to watch out for. The rest of the team will have quite a bit of a hill to climb on the side of Death and Taxes up against Panic Mode. So we're in for quite a treat, actually, considering this is the grand finals and a best of five matchup. It's going to be a long one. It's going to be an interesting one. It could be quite a bit of twists and turns that we'll be looking at as well. In terms of composition, Cyrex, what do you expect from, let's say, the side of Death and Taxes? Because it's their hill to climb in this matchup.
True. So I'm expecting maybe a Punisher pick from Kimbula himself because we did see very aggressive gameplay from Kimbula himself in these past few matches. His Punisher gameplay was really aggressive, really pinpoint, really well-rounded gameplay there, and it's really exciting to see because we did see like two ultimates in like not like it's not like 5 minutes over. It's in 2 minutes. We did see some like two ultimates in a row. So I'm really expecting to see a Punisher pick from Kimbula, and and we might be able to see a rogue pick from Haddox himself because in the past few matches we did so Haddox using rogue to get back onto the healers and taking down healers with Kimbula himself as always. So maybe be they might be changing the composition maybe because we did see Haddox play. We did see Haddox play Magneto as well in this tournament little by little. They might be changing the composition or they might get to play their own characters. So that's what I'm expecting, and I might expect from the other team. So from Team Panic Mode, I might see again maybe a magic, maybe so, or maybe a ban from Team Death and Access because they know each other's composition really well. That's what I'm expecting. So, Rick, what are your expectations on these two teams?
That is true. Well, basically, like you just mentioned, these players are quite familiar with each other, having known each other for quite a while. So the battle itself will start right from the bans and the picks phase, and it's going to be quite a bit more intense than any of the matches we've seen so far in this tournament. Players that know each other, it's going to be quite a bit of mind games to figure out who the bans will be. I believe that the characters that are most closest to players like False God and Kimula are the ones who are going to most likely experience the sad end of the target bans, I believe. So we might just see more bans on Hela, Starlord, I would assume. And like you said, maybe even the magic too, because False God's magic quite powerful, being able to make some massive stalls and then get some even more massive picks on the side of a team fight, turning matches around completely as well. So from the side of Death and Taxes, though, so they might just run a usual poor composition or the recent composition that they did find a lot of fruitful ventures in, which was their triple tank, single DPS, and double support composition. Not many teams have been pulling that up recently, but it seemed quite fruitful for the side of Team Death and Taxes. Do you think that's something they could pull off here against Panic Mode, considering that they did pull it off on a single map against Panic Mode in their last matchup?
Well, it's going to be really hard because Team Panic Mode is really not that like expected to see, because they really just switch quite a lot if they see the composition, because we did see on the past few matches Team Panic Mode, when they saw the dive composition from if you remember from the Eagle boosters, they saw the dive composition and they changed quickly to get away from the dive composition. So it might be a tell, it might be difficult to tell now, for now, because I mean, Team Death and Taxes really pulled the tournament so far with the three tanks and one DPS composition with the help of Kibula's Punisher. So, which is quite exciting to see. So, we are
Indeed, the
waiting
Punisher
until
might
the
just be a staple
teams.
for the upcoming matchup as well, like you mentioned. The Punisher having been quite fierce on the hands of Kimbulaya, and but still, this is not an easy matchup for the side of Team Death and Taxes, because Panic Mode has made their mark on this community, being quite a formidable opponent against pretty much any of the teams that they have gone up against, having quite a positive win rate on throughout the tournament as well, and having such disciplined gameplay among their entire team, most likely because of the years of experience they have playing with each other in a professional level as well. So, Descent Access, they have their work cut out for them, but we can expect quite an interesting matchup to come up soon.
So we do have the poll results from the YouTube feed itself. So we see 54% win rate on Team Death and Taxes, and 46% from Team Panic Mode. So no, it's similarly 50-50, but we do see some people do expect to win Team Death and Taxes. There might be a huge fan base in the in the live itself. So, Rick, so what are your thoughts on these polls?
Huh, well, would you look at that? Death and Texas taking the lead for a potential win as the people demand it. Looks like there's a lot of people rooting for the underdog here in this live stream as well. So let's see. Send all those positive vibes their way, and they might just be able to pull off some miracles in this tournament. Because Team Panic Mode, they might have not won the poll, but they are a good and formidable team to go up against. It's a scary road for anyone, but I believe Team Death and Texas, having earned their position here in the grand finals, there's no better team right now to go up against Panic Mode and potentially even take the win against them, which you'll see shortly once we get up into the matchups. I believe the teams are prepping. We are going to check if the teams are ready to go. And then afterwards, we'll be able to see in the beginning of the grand finals of this pretty anticipated matchup, I would say. And just as I said it, here we go. First round map is getting picked by random chance. Where will both these teams fall for the beginning of a very intense fight, I believe?
Again, it's a Hell's Heaven map, Hydra. We did see this map like quite often in this whole tournament, so everyone knows this map quite well. And we all know there's high ground. The first who take the high grounds might have a good chance on winning the first fight between the two teams. So Rick, so again, what are your thoughts on this? Will they able to take the high ground? Which team will be able to take the high ground first? And will there be a Doctor Strange pick from the start?
I mean, this map, Hell's Heaven, I've seen this more than I've seen myself in the last few days. So feel like there's going to be a bit more, there's a bit of a bias here from the game itself for this map. I don't know what they're insinuating there, but yes, like you said, there is a good potential chance for Doctor Strange being a pick in this map, as been shown by many of the teams that did go up against their opponents on Hell's Heaven. There have been a lot of Doctor Strange picks. And moving on over to the bans and the saves, it's already begun. The mind games are beginning. From the side of Panic Mode, they take out the Cloak and Dagger, most likely targeted ban on to the side of Death and Taxes support line, taking that out of the hands of Time Lord, I believe. The Moon Knight, though, is a ban coming in from the side of Death and Taxes, taking that away from Panic Mode. The thing is indeed a save. I believe they might indeed be trying for another triple tank composition, because Thing was a staple that they went up with on that triple tank.
Exactly. So we do see a rogue band from Team Panic Mode side. So it seems like they are trying to push away the triple, the powerful tanks in the whole game. So we did see Rogue is a really powerful character in the tank side, and we do see a Squirrel Girl save from Team Panic Mode. I think they are taking the safe route here, because we did see the Moon Knight ban from Team Death and Taxes affecting False God composition, because we did see False God is really good with magic and also Moon Knight. So I think False God doesn't have really good options here to play against Team Death and Taxes.
We might have to wait and see how that goes. But yes, like you did say, the Elsa Bloodstone being a ban is quite a bit of impact onto False God himself on his gameplay, because the Elsa Bloodstone proved to be quite powerful on his end. So the teams are now taking form as the final ban comes in from Death and Taxes, which will be the Mantis as well, while the Gambit is banned from Panic Mode. Teams are taking shape. We are about to head in roughly T-minus 10 into the first matchup of the grand finals tournament. We're seeing some compositions taking form. Not too certain.
Am I seeing a Devil Dinosaur from Team Panic Mode?
They might just pull out the Devil Dinosaur here. Mantis, will he stick to the Dino?
The character just came out from the game, so did they have enough time to check the composition and check the abilities to take the win for Team Panic Mode? We have to check, because it's a really new character, so I'm really skeptical about this raid.
That is true. The character's only been out for about a couple of days, but if any team could pull it off and have tested their tried and true compositions on this to see if it'll work out, that would be Panic Mode. But unfortunately, it seems like we're not going to see any Dino shenanigans in this matchup, as Mantis
It was a troll. It was a troll all along.
My hopes and dreams ruined, but we're off to a straight matchup. These teams are not playing around. They do not want to play around. They respect each other. They know each other, so they want to take this as seriously as possible to take the victory home. And here trying to stay on their backline, trying to get a bit of a flank, but unfortunately caught off guard by Angela. Head-ups on Angela, actually. That's
something we didn't see, actually. Yeah, it's quite weird to see. Angela doing the God's work here, trying to get away, get rid of the push away from the spawn, and here comes the revive from Team DNT. It seems the Venom just got revived.
That is true. The Angela is something that we haven't seen from Headers, but the just cause of consequence from the fact that the Rogue got banned, and Death and Taxes are not able to actually tap into his Rogue performance. Right now, though, Panic Mode, having won the initial team fight, takes control of the objective point number 1, and the percentage starts ticking up second by second. Death and Taxes needs to make their move, and they need to plan for another team fight. But unfortunately, an early pick coming in from Xeno over onto Time Lord that is going to put Death and Taxes back a lot. Team continues to push forward a little bit, just poke and prod a bit, but that's quite scary considering one of their supports are currently out of the fight for the moment.
You're welcome.
If you see this, because Panik Mode is running a triple heal composition here, which was really out to see, because we did so like two healers, two DPS, two composition from Panik Mode and also from DNT. As usual, again, three tanks, one damn DPS and two healers. And early in the morning, we do see a pick off from DNT taking down Time Lord by False God himself. We do see, but Raziel does have the ultimate, so they might have a chance to take the point for themselves using this ultimate.
It will depend on the focus fire that this ultimate will receive out in the open. Will it be enough? Actually, it is, as Ratne is able to dive in, get two picks. Haddock follows up the third over on to Kelly as well. This is going to be an immediate turnaround for Death and Taxes. I would be surprised if Panik Mode manages to hold this off, and they are not able to. As that
my god, Ratne is demolishing the front line out of nowhere. Oh my god, bro.
I had to give it up to Death and Taxes. They are single ult committed from Panik Mode as well. And considering the wall that they're climbing right now, one ult to win that fight, that was quite worth it. As right now we are looking at Kimbula with the punish ult, and as he pops it off right now, so it.
There's no support out as well. It's quite interesting. But we do see Venom trying his best to take out Kimbula out from the roster. But Kimbula does get the bubble out from Monster Heart himself. And oh my god, Kimbula is still alive. And Xeno uses his ultimate to take down Kimbula, but he does taken down by Haddock.
Fight is still quite up in there right now, but unfortunately it's actually looking quite positive for Death and Taxes as they win the second team fight as well. One thing you did see there, Panik Mode did recruit quite fast and then return into the team fight, so by the time it took Death and Taxes to retrieve one team fight, Panik Mode was able to handle two, so the score is currently looking quite balanced as you can see here. 65% and climbing for Death and Taxes, while Panik Mode holds at 74%. More ults come in as we go into the 14th fight of the matchup. More and more ults are getting popped from the side of Panik Mode as Xeno is able to get the initial pick off onto Kimbula, and then the rest of the team starts slowly crumble. Well, not slowly, quickly crumble as this team fight is immediately won from the side of Panik Mode, and the conversion should be coming at any second now.
If you did see that point here, Kelly was managed to take down two picks off from Team Death and Taxes with the push. I mean, that's quite random to see actually. And we do see a beautiful TP from Abiotic himself trying to contest the point with the beautiful ultimate off from Raziel. But Ezra does have Punisher's ultimate taking down one by one, supporting False God, securing the kill.
That's the massive pick. Raziel on the Rocket Raccoon getting taken out is quite a bit scary for Death and Taxes, but Death and Taxes are doing their best to hold it up as Haddock is able to secure one kill. But Ezra here pumping that shotgun right into the mouths of Death and Taxes, takes out 3 people, 3 shells, that's all he needed. Boom, 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 they're dead, and it's just Ratne here trying to hold it out for a moment. Stop the conversion from happening, stall it as long as possible, but this pushes it to the edge as it goes to overtime on both sides.
We do see Haddock trying to stall the point again, having a little bit hope for Team Death and Taxes.
Unfortunately, it does not seem to be sufficient as both Haddocks and Kimbula who attempted to make the touch are immediately shut down from the side of Panik Mode who were prepared for that. The first point, by actually quite a close margin, goes off onto the side of Panik Mode. What do you think, Cyrus? Do you think there'll be adjustments from Death and Taxes to adjust what Panik Mode is currently doing with their quick team fights and then just even quicker wins on those team fights?
I think the team is actually really perfect to it seems, but there was some mismatch between the teleports and the ultimate usage. I think that's the reason the point just shift up to Team Panik Mode there. But we quite did see some extra diffing Kimbula with the Punisher. I'm just saying.
Well, it's a tough
Battle
matchup there
starts
for
in
Kimula as
5,
well. Estra,
4,
quite the
3,
notorious hit scan
2,
player among the
1.
communities as well, so it's
All
a
you need to do
scary
is
matchup for
capture the
him.
mission area.
Right now,
Got
for
it?
both sides, especially for Death and Texas, the mistakes or the misfights are microscopic, to say the most. So, yes, like you said, the compositions might actually just be perfect. It's just a matter of small bits of timing and playstyle that's going to define who takes the second round as well. As Mantis swings around, it gets a few pokes here and there, climbs a wall, beats the spider, looks around as Death and Texas tries to take control over on that high
The
ground.
mission area is yours to
Oh, they
capture
do
now.
see the revival from fishes there, but they still do get taken down. But Kimura does have the ultimate here because from the start of the match, will he able to use the ultimate to take down the whole team and take the point for team Death and Texas?
It's true, a lot of support is coming in from both sides. Rosal manages to get the rest off on Paddock as his BRB was not broken, unlike it
Kimura
was
goes
for
down.
Panic. But
No.
Judge.
unfortunately, that's not enough as Panic Mode just rolls right through and then takes down two immediately. Ezra pops his ult off, finishing off the rest, taking out three picks.
Ezra, what is happening?
Capture
Oh,
the
this
mission
is
area.
This is scary, man, I tell you. I do not want to meet this man in a back alley. He's gonna pop.
Oh my god, we really thought DNT did have some time to take the point, but that ultimate got reduced out by Estra because Estra did manage to pull off the ultimate out from Team DNT by the Kingula. So I think that's the reason Team DNT couldn't be able to take the point because Panik Mode, did we saw there, Panik Mode really utilized their ultimate really perfectly.
This is real.
True, the last team fight was quite a rough one because Dex and Texas had such a good setup before getting into the team fight itself, but unfortunately did lose it. But right now, Abatic manages to get a first pick, but the rest comes through. And Estra comes out time load, and the rest comes through once again. But that little time frame, that little gap that they have between the rest is enough for them to push into the rest of the team, take them out as Panic Mode holds this point dominantly. Descent Tax is still sitting at a 13% as Panic Mode is climbing 40% and upwards. Cena picks off Razel, who is the last one to get taken out from the side. Descent Texas and sends them back to the drawing board, back into
Your
spawn
team's
for another
capture
team fight.
progress has passed the
I
halfway
think
point.
Team Defense Texas has to swap out to a different DPS here because we do see a Xeno here doing the dealing damage and also healing for Team Panic Mode because as we see a Xeno using the drones. Now, as I was saying, Xeno does have two drones to heal and damaging that's quite far out on the open. I think the Punisher needs to just focus on Xeno here to get that touch on Team Panic Mode.
That is true. The Punisher pick on from Kibula might not be the play right now. It's working wonders for Estra because he's currently going up against triple tanks and he's just able to pump a lot of damage in, farm even faster ult charge, and then have his ult pretty much up every other fight. And as he did mention, Xeno there pumping out a lot of heals at the same time, doing a lot of damage from quite a bit of a distance. Maybe a bit of a Hela swap from Kibula might be able to make some changes here, but right now, Desert Texas really needs to figure out what they need to do.
The second ultimate again. Oh my god, the dive from Mantis himself. Trying to use the ultimate to take down Kimura. But it seems like Kimura did able to get take down Venom and also Xenomorph from the team Panic Mode.
Kibula indeed was able to make two picks, but right off on the side, while Kibula was doing that, the rest of Panic Mode went and got multiple picks off onto the side of Death
Oh
and
my
Taxes.
god, Ezra, that's disgusting, bro.
Ezra just getting these final blows along with Xeno is looking quite terrifying for the side of Death and Taxes because it almost looking like the team fight is over before it even begins, as Panic Mode takes map number 1 in a very dominant fashion on that second point. The first point was quite a bit of a little give and take, a little bit of a trade, but yeah, on the second point, Panic Mode is setting their foot down. They are not playing around. And now looking at the scoreboard as well, you can see the 22 final blows coming in from Ezra. That is a heavy difference from the highest on Death and Texas side, which is Kimula with 6 final blows. It's a scary matchup, and as I mentioned in the beginning, it is Death and Taxes' hill to climb. Right now, it's not looking a little bit of a slippery slope for Death and Taxes to go up. And we should be back shortly for the next matchup as well to see who will be taking the second map. And Death and Taxes will have map pick, considering they are on the loser side right now. We'll be back shortly after a short break. On to our second matchup. Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the grand final matchup of Panic Mode versus Death and Texas here in the Night Serpent eSports tournament. Right now, we saw quite a matchup in the first round between these two teams, and we are currently heading off on to the second matchup as well. And just from what we saw in the first matchup, we had a close round one, but the second round, not so much in the Hydra base map. Cyrix, what did we see there? What were the highlights, in your opinion, in that matchup there?
In my opinion, I think Ezra was the main highlight actually because we did see he by the help of Zeno and Kelly there, he did got a lot of healing out from both of them, and he does manage to take down all the tanks that come towards him using the shotgun like picture perfectly. And we did see Mantis going up towards the Kimbula there. When Kimbula tries to use the ultimate to take down some support or a tank, Mantis dives in to the point and uses the ultimate to take down Kimbula there. I think the main highlight is in that match should be Ezra and Mantis, in my opinion, because I did saw some major role factors, and really good ultimate usage by both of them. Because Venom ultimate is really quite useful when you dive a Punisher, because Punisher ultimate is not that easy to like withstand. So I think Mantis really did help using his ultimate to keep Kimbula away from team Panic mode there.
That is true. The shutdown of the playmaker on the side of Dead and Texas, which was in fact Kimula, the Punisher being picked by him, he was the key playmaker, but unfortunately the plays were not quite sufficient to go up against Panic Mode and then take the win. As the discipline from these teams when surviving, especially the Punisher ults that came in from Kimula, that was quite interesting to watch as picks were being made from the side of Death and Texas, but even more picks coming in from the side of Panic Mode, shutting down their team and constantly sending them back to the drawing board at their spawn. I feel like there should be some adjustments because I feel like Panic Mode has become quite accustomed to this composition that Death and Texas is running with the triple tanks, especially because Haddock's rogue seemed to have been banned in the last matchup as well, putting him on Angela, which is didn't seem as proficient on as he is on his rogue. What do you think would be some adjustments, or maybe even some bans and saves that might come from the side of Death and Texas to make it a bit more of a comfortable matchup going into the second match?
True enough, yes, we did saw that Haddox did play really poorly in that match, because I think because he's really new to Angela, because we didn't see any Angela gameplay from Haddox in this whole tournament. So they might be adjusting here, or they might the Angela might not suitable for that whole team comp. But in my opinion, they might choose a really suitable character for Haddox or the other tank in for team Death and Taxes, or they might have to choose to another DPS, because we did so because of the three tanks and one DPS. They have a lack of DPS issue in team Death and Taxes, because we did see Xeno on Ultron there. Ultron is really good with the new buffs, because two heals and that much damage is not good for team Death and Taxes there, because I think they might have to switch to another hit scan with another DPS, because they have to keep up with the damage from team Panic mode.
Exactly. That Ultron being in the backline was probably a key factor in shutting down that triple tank composition that Death and Texas was running. Panic Mode seemingly having this whole matchup under lock and key for themselves. They seem to have figured it all out. Right now, we'll be able to see whether Death and Texas will be able to make the right adjustments that they need. But even then, it's going to be a tough matchup considering how disciplined and how, in a professional level, uh, Panic Mode tends to play whenever it comes to a tournament. And right now, Death and Texas, I believe Kimula on his tried and trusted Hela, which we have not seen him play much in this tournament, most likely because he's been adjusting to the Namor and the Punisher more recently. He has not picked out his Hela from his pocket, but I feel like the Hela might be a pick that could prove useful if Panic Mode decides to run the same composition that they're currently running. It would be a bit of a different story if False God does decide to pick up his magic, which is, yep, definitely going to be an interesting one to see in that case. We might have Death
Exactly.
and Taxes having a rough moment right now, brainstorming to see what can be done.
Well, true, but we did saw that the new update did buff Phoenix in this new patch, so we didn't saw any Phoenix gameplay in this match because Phoenix is really powerful now. You can just two-shot at 275 HP character. So if Kimbula managed to uh, take down Xeno again and again using Phoenix, that will be really useful for Team Death and Taxes actually.
That's true. In normal team fights, I would say getting an initial pick might just set it in stone that you have won the team fight and are able to push the enemy team back. But for Team Death and Taxes, when going up against a team like Panic Mode, that's a bit of a harder situation. Getting an initial pick does not always guarantee that they have won the team fight, considering how well Panic Mode knows how to take these team fights, even with a member down. So it's a very difficult matchup. Well, at least on the general consensus of our viewers tonight, it should be Devon Texas's matchup to win. We should be able to see that soon, shortly, once we get up into the matchup between these two teams. Just checking in. I believe both teams are currently ready, and we should be getting into the map pick, which should be the pick from the side of Devon Texas, as they were the losing team from the last round.
I'm really excited to see this match because it's if DNT manages to take the map for themselves, they have to be really picky because they should have a really good composition for their own map because and it's going to be Museum of uh, what's that again?
The Museum of
I can't even read that.
Contemplation, my
Hello,
friend.
I haven't even saw that map in quite a while. It's a new map, right?
Well, it is a new map, but it should be familiar because this is the exact same map that Descent Texas was able to take off of Panic Mode and take a win on in their last matchup. The previous match that Descent Texas had against Panic Mode, this was the map that they won in. And it was not a simple, like a close win either because Descent Texas had a very dominant performance in this map against Panic Mode. Hopefully, they are looking to replicate that same performance, but considering it's Panic Mode, they most likely have tried everything that they can to adapt to this map and then make sure that lightning doesn't strike twice in the same place.
Exactly. So we do see a first ban from team Panic Mode here, taking out Cloak and Dagger from Team DNT. It might be a Time Lord aimed ban because we did see Time Lord playing Cloak and Dagger in this throughout this whole tournament. So it might be a target ban for team for Time Lord actually.
That is true, but from the time of the Death and Taxes, it seems like the Moon Knight is banned while the Gambit is saved. The Gambit might be on Time Lord's hands considering the Cloak and Dagger has now been banned. But right now, Panic Mode not giving any leeway for Haddox to pull out the Rogue and then make his
Oh
performance
no.
stand out. It's a rough matchup for the side of Desert Texas because the characters that you normally see these players play are the ones that are currently getting banned, which is quite scary right now. But from the side of Desert Texas, they do still ban the Elsa Bloodstone, being a threat as she is on the hands of a player like False God, and still saves the thing. They might just be trying to replicate the triple tank composition that they ran on this map in the previous matchup against Panic Mode, but it's not going to be easy because Panic Mode might just be expecting. That's what Death and Texas is trying to do.
And we do get a Squirrel Girl save out from Panic Mode again. As we saw previously, False God is a is a player who plays a Squirrel Girl all the time because I think as far as I know, False God played Squirrel Girl since start of this game. Since start
The
of
right heroes
this
can
game
make
start.
all the
So
difference.
I don't think False God be able to use magic or anyone else because if the Squirrel Girl is there, it's going to be a really huge threat because you can just close your eyes and just aim somewhere else and it's going to hit someone. It's just I'm saying.
That's that kind of gameplay. Squirgle might be a bit of a comfort save just in case they need to fall back onto something, especially if it's a triple tank. That heavy damage, especially the burst damage that a Squirgle can give along with rooting players down onto the ground, might be the versatility that they need. Now, at the end, there was a Venom ban coming in from the side of Death and Taxes too, most likely aimed towards Mantis's Venom, which proved to be quite a bit of trouble for Death and Taxes brand. The teams have now come in shape. They are currently running the triple tank composition once again, while Kimula indeed does pull out the Hela. And like I mentioned, this might just be what they need to have panic mode having a bit of a rough time in this matchup.
Also, if we look at the YouTube feed over here, we do see 70 votes on the poll and 41% on Team
The
Panic
battle
Mode
starts in
and
5,
59% on Team
3,
Death and Taxes.
2,
Still,
1.
the viewers still have faith on Team Death and Taxes here.
I mean, everyone loves to root for the underdog, and right now Death and Taxes is indeed the underdog. They have to play to win as it
What is
is.
this? What is this strat from Team Death and Taxes? It's a surprise! It's a surprise attack! Holy shit! Hey, buddy!
Surprise, surprise. Unfortunately, the surprise did not work out as everybody goes in and gets completely shut down.
Why am I watching?
Well, they did indeed try a certain type of hold. Well, fruitless as it was. It was definitely an attempt that was made from the side of Death and Taxes, but unfortunately all it led to was a quick loss on the team fight as the rest of Panic Mode is able to push up all the way past the choke and actually hold up on the final choke near the end of objective number 1. Mantis here off on the left side, off angling and then going in on to Kimula.
Holy shit, Mantis! 1v1! 1v1 in the hell over here, trying his best to take out Hela, but he couldn't. Is he able to take it? Yes. Never mind,
But unfortunately, Kimula lives long enough for he's supposed to come and support him. But right now, it's even a scarier matchup. But right, Kimula manages to live through the fight against Ezra with Ratse coming in for the help and then takes out Ezra as well. Kimula getting another pick on scoreboard as well, but Force God on that Squirrel takes out Kimula. Squirrel's first damage being quite insane. But now pushes this match into a bit of a default as both sides have lost players but are currently fighting it out, duking it out to see who will win this next team fight. If Panic Mode is able to take this next win, they will be pushing past point number 1.
We do get the Mantis, the help, the monster comes off from Mantis, and Zeno using the using Mantis ultimate to save Mantis from the damage that he gets. But I think it's gonna be a game over for Team DNT because the Hela is strong, but we do see 2 ultimates from Haddock and also from Rusty.
The Halsey has turned down the Bruce, but unfortunately that is not sufficient as that's why you see a popping heads getting them from the rocket ult as well, and that just might be enough for Panic Mode to push past on point number 1 with 1 minute and 30 seconds and counting down. Where will they land after this push first? Right now, not looking too good for this Taxes, but unfortunately it's not looking too bad either because they had quite a decent hold on that second team fight considering their interesting tactics on first.
What happened? What's happened? two Huns covering up each other. What the hell?
And just going at it for a moment there. One of the green men did have all the backup he needed, so Mantis did have to fall back. But Haddock's off on the side manages to get with this. Exactly, and that's just sufficient that Kibula also popped his own ult, taking out the rest of the players as well, and that's a team fight win for Death and Taxes right at the spawn of Panic Mode.
But I think it's a really useless happening because near the spawn using that much ultimate really bad for Team DNT because they don't have any ultimate except the Time Lord's ultimate, which comes to
Time to go nuts.
But if it is true, the Time Lord ultimate still has to
Oh, a touch of healing.
waiting on it as well. Otherwise, on the side of Panic Mode, they have currently they're living, thriving on their ult economy with 3 ults ready, up and ready to go. And Gambit might actually not be sufficient to survive this. As the physical comes in from the side of Osborne as well. Gambit popped from the side of Time Lord, but unfortunately they do lose Haddock's off on that team fight because as Rest does manage to bring it back and Kibble manages to trade that off, getting Ezra. Once again, the risk comes in from the side of Panic Mode as well and bringing Ezra back. And now, with no resist, False God manages to get the pick off onto Abiting, starting down Death and Texas onto 5 players as they have to continue to fall back away from Panic Mode as they are relentlessly pushing.
Oh, from Mantis here, from Panic Mode, trying his best to take out to the point. DNT here. It seems like Mantis making quite a wide road here for Team Panic Mode because Team DNT is all around the map here, trying to complete the point. But DNT pushes down to the point by himself. But with the beautiful armament from Ezra, he might be able to take down quite a few things away from Team DNT. We do see Ezra does take down Haddock, but time flies. But Rajai just managed to take out Haddock from the rest.
Unfortunately, it does not seem to be enough as Panic Mode just continues to get more and more here as the objective reaches the end of that point number 2. The rest of the Tentacle seems to be dead. Unfortunately, it's unlikely that anyone else will be contesting as Bruce gets taken down as well by Ezra, who's just become a staple of the kill feed at this point with the sheer number of picks that he's getting. And you can clearly see that Panic Mode did learn from their last matchup against the Tentacles in this exact same map, because this is a staggering difference from what we saw last time. As the Tentacles are having a rough time with their alt economy and holding Panic Mode back.
Yes, Ezra and Mantis keeping all the breaks in their zone again. Tries keeping the team away from the point. Is this a distraction or might be trying to control? Let's see.
In my opinion, it just feels like pure aggression. They just do not want to give Death and Texas even a bit of breathing space, not even for a second to just regroup. If they can see one person by himself, even for a split second, they intend to dive and take that person out. It seems to be how they have to this fight. Ooh, a bit of a scary one there on Kibula as Lester was just right around the corner. Low HP he is right now. Has to pop his ult just mainly for survivability, not the most comfortable position for a Helal. And doesn't really get much from it either. But that did manage to zone Panic Mode off, at least for a split second, giving Death and Texas a bit of breathing room as they're able to push a bit forward and push Panic Mode back towards their spawn. This is the core construct of this composition that Death and Texas is playing. The Pain Brothers triple tank, it's about controlling space and not letting them forward. It's just that Panic Mode is a powerful opponent to actually pull that off. He actually managed to get the initial pick on this team fight as well, and
You see ultimate from Mantis again, switching by the healers to take down the healer, but he able to take down any healers outright because Haddock was there to take down We do see a beautiful ultimate coming out from Team Death and Texas by a Biotic.
Not enough, unfortunately, as the Mantis ult comes from the side of Xenomorph. It's enough to keep the team alive and actually keep the team alive more than long enough to get more picks off from Death and Texas. That's just down to multiple players as Panic Mode is able to make even more progress with the objective moving towards the end of this fight. Curious thing about this objective, if anyone didn't know, the players actually had to stand on the objective itself to make sure that it gets pushed. So it could be a curious, it could be a potential C9, but considering it is Panic Mode, I have to down.
This is real fire!
Beautiful ult from Force again, swapping off the floor. Ezra taking down Abiting again. Oh my god! Ezra doing the good work here, using the shotgun to his advantage, taking down all the tanks. Using ultimate. Oh my! If we did so that Xenomorph giving all the attack boost to Ezra here. I think that's the reason he might be able to take down the tank all by himself with the
Judge, jury, executioner!
That's hilarious.
The current score
Oh my,
is
what a match.
0
That is
two,
indeed the scariest
three.
thing. Man just giving the
Time
damage
to
boost
switch
off onto
things
the
up,
Punisher, just running at you
including
with a
which
shotgun.
side
That's the
you're on.
boogeyman. That's what the kids are scared of underneath their bed at night.
You'll need a top-notch
That
team to
was a
win this one.
terrifying matchup for the triple tank composition to go up against on Panic Mode, as the Mantis damage boosted Ezra just lights up the entire kill feed all the way from point number 1 to point number 3. Well, looking at Panic Mode, they are able to push it all the way, and Death and Taxes has a mighty high hill to climb at the moment, as they need to push all the way and then take this matchup to a round 3 as well.
We do see a change from
My
Mantis to Thor. Thor solo tank is a really hard matchup to pull because Thor alone, you have to dive in. They might dive in
30
with
seconds before you
Ezra.
attack. Get
That's
ready.
my just opinion. So let's see how things go on. And again,
How does a creature so
it's a
small
three-man
lift a weapon so large?
tank composition from Team Death and Taxes again. I think they are quite confident about the DPS from Kimbula, I think, but they might have a chance to win this tournament again. So let's
The
see how
battle
things go.
starts in 5.
Kimula having been
Four,
pushed to
three,
swap to the
two,
Hawkeye as well.
one.
They are on their last line, last threads in this matchup. It'll be all up to whether he can land those headshots and then shut down some key players from the side of Panic. Panic now knowing that the Hawkeye has been pulled out, we need to play it a bit more safe considering they don't have any shield defense. But then there is heavy within the shield to be able to do some bullshit. Man is here running around, dealing with the damage. Unfortunately, he didn't get too much. Curious to see where his pace is Thor put forth onto the defense. What type of impact it will have. The initial pick does come from the side of Panic Mode. The rest does come through as well. That's the rest completely taken back from the side of Death Texas. And Panic Mode seems to be constantly holding this out.
Kimbula himself, but Zeno does take the trade from Kimbula. I think Kimbula just have to keep up the distance and take them through. We have seen Zeno is a really good, excellent gamer in this tournament.
Judge, jury,
Support, big support from
Immediately shuts down the rocket ult from the Conductors, and they are not able to do much with that, as they will have to fall back. Having no defense there. The tank being taken out. Ezra just continues to walk forward, gets another one, gets third one on this team fight. Will he be able to get a fourth one? I would not be surprised if he does, as the rest of Death and Taxes falls back all the way to spawn, having a rough time. Timer ticking down, 2.5 minutes left, just a little over that for Death and Taxes to get to objective number 1.
They only pushed half of the first one.
never
They
fall!
had, oh my god, time lord reached the gap ultimate. Trying to take the space away from team Panic Mode here. Taking down, time lord taking down Ezra. Rotaract taking down False God again with Kimura taking a hit on Mantis. Such a beautiful ultimate from Time Lord itself, because that was a really clutch round for team Death and Taxes.
That might have been sufficient for them to push the payload just far enough to just hold out for one more team fight. That's all they will need to do, and they'll be able to get point number 1. Will Panic Mode be touching? Will they have a successful time for this left guy as Alpha takes a bit from side of Death and Taxes as well? And the Panic Mode themselves will need to put more ults down, as more ults do indeed come out, but it's not enough as point 1 is taken. And Death and Taxes will be moving forward as their clock timer ticks up to a staggering 4 minutes.
Already tough to hurt.
The initial pick
That is
off.
quite high actually, because Team Panic Mode only had 2 minutes when they started taking the first point.
The
That is
wrath
true.
of
That's
Asgard.
actually looking quite good for Death and Taxes as they continue to push forward. Right now, that actually the shutdown on Cena on that Mantis in that last fight might just set in stone for Death and Taxes to push it through. But right now, False God starting it off as taking Kimula out, but Rest is indeed there as usual, bringing back the first player who is the die defense of this Kimula. This fight goes off on the default, and ults are currently committed. More things coming out.
Take down healer, but Kelly's ultimate does manage to save Kimura here, trying his best to take down, but he got to take healer. Haddock grouping up the DPS to take down the DPS out from Ezra.
Never
Seems
fall!
like Ezra did manage to take down Haddock with one palm off to the face.
man just kill Ratne with the smoke? Yeah, okay.
What?
But yes,
I didn't even saw that. Hello?
but unfortunately, yes, the previous ult from Haddock actually had quite a bit of people from Panic Mode unlocked, but unfortunately there wasn't enough follow-up from different actors to shut down the players, as that could have gone quite a bit of different way if there was some damage coming from the players. The ult does come in from False God as the squirrels go wild across the point, but Erratic secures the first kill off onto Ezra. The rest just come through once again, and as usual, Ezra is back into it. We are back to another default fight. No ult up from the side of Desert Texas, except for Razael, who is coming really close to the rocket ult. But from the side of Panic Mode, Ezra did have an ult, but taken out. False God just managed to get a few picks, but they are currently slowly falling back as they do know that their ultimate is currently out of the fight, and there's a lot of momentum here from the side of Desert Texas.
Yeah, we did see it.
Behold the god of thunder!
Oh my god, it's a beautiful array, and Bandit just managed to take out Kibula away from the I think the follow-up away from the healer is quite meta for the
That is a valuable pick coming in from Mantis off onto Kimberla, taking out the main TPS from Desert Texas, pushing the rest of the team all the way back into their spawn as they're currently just biding their time, waiting for a moment as they push forward. But unfortunately, that's not enough, as the Panic Mode just says, if we won't push up, we will, and takes out Haddock, sends him back to the spawn room. 3 ults live from the side of Desert Texas. 4 now, actually, with the last 2 also coming up, not too far off. 2 ults from the side of Panic Mode, 3 now as well, as he builds up on. It's going to be an ult flop fight right now. Let's see who comes out on top as kicks are coming from both sides.
Ezra demolishing each and every teammate out from Team Different Texas using the rockets ultimate. Oh my god, it's really beautiful to see.
Battlefield ready
45 seconds on the clock, and it's really getting excited here. Rick, I'm really excited to see. Only 40 seconds left. They're gonna do. They don't have an ultimate except Rasals and Kibula.
This is close, Cyrex. This is really close. 2 ults coming in from both sides. Will Kimberla be able to secure any picks on this? Invis ult comes out, and it is not enough.
Kimberla comes in front with the invisible ultimate.
But that is not enough, as Abitic and Kimberla are still able to secure kills, pulling down Panic Mode down by 2 players right now. This might be enough for Desert Texas to keep pushing. Right now, I believe Panic Mode should be able to have one more team fight, and they have one more chance to hold this off. They currently have Mantis ult along with False God, Serpent also. Still looking quite a bit scary. Roughly one with an ult at the moment. Desert Texas nowhere close to any of their other ults. It's all up to Time Lord to see if he can stay alive to get any more ults up. But Kimbola being taken out for 2 seconds actually, as the rest just come through. But False God continues to roll through, getting and Mantis following up, finishing off the rest of the team from Death and Texas, and that sets it, putting Panic Mode 2-0 against Death and Texas as they secure match number 2.
That is a really beautiful match to see. Actually, I thought this gonna be a close match because we had 4 minutes to spare out. I don't know what happened to the team Death and Texas here, because we did see some really fall off in matches out from Team Death, but because we did see Haddox using the using Emma Frost ultimate to take the D-base out from the team, but I didn't see any follow-up from Death and Texas. I think that's a really big issue from Team Death and Texas themselves.
Well, I can't even say that current team Death and Texas actually played badly either. It's just
Yeah,
that they
exactly.
did
That's what I'm
play
saying.
well.
They didn't play bad either. They played really well. There were some minor mistakes actually.
Unfortunately, once again, Ezra just there with 22nd, a staggering, mind-blowing amount of final hits, with the highest on the side of Desert Texas being Kimula once again with 13. It's not sufficient. It's just small Microsoft adjustments that are currently leaning the favor towards Panic Mode against Death and Texas. It's a rough matchup. It's a really good team against a really professional team, and we should be able to see how this concludes in the next matchup. Will Panic Mode take it 3-0 and take the entire victory, or Will Death and Texas be able to do a reverse sweep? It would be magic if they can, so we'll see shortly after a short break. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the grand finals matchup against Death and Taxes versus Panic Mode in the Night Serpent eSports Tournament 2026. We are currently heading off on to round number 3 against these two teams. And right now, the odds are currently in Panic Mode's favor to take the win. It's looking a little scary for the side of Death and Texas, considering how it's currently going. And it could be Panic Mode's game to win right now in this last matchup, or a miraculous reverse sweep could come in from the side of Death and Texas if they have figured something out from their last two experiences with Panic Mode so far. Right now, Cyrex, what do you think from the last two matches that we've witnessed? Has it been a bit of a downward spiral for Death and Texas, or do you think they might be figuring something out?
I think they might be figuring something out because we did see a in this whole matches, we did see Panic Mode from Panic Mode, Mantis and Ezra. All Mantis, I mean, first of all, Mantis really, really aggressive with the Thor in the second match, taking down the healers. And if we see really carefully in the last match, Panic Mode does actually targeting Kimbula in that whole match, because we do see Kimbula does spawn, and after 10 seconds, Kimbula is gone. I think they have to do something about this situation, because Kimbula does get a target stopped actually, because Mantis always pushing the backline, and Ezra taking out the tanks. When the tanks pushes up to Team Panic Mode, Ezra is there to save the two healers from Team DNT. I think they might be cooking something up in the back, because they had 5 minutes, and I think they have enough time to talk about this about their new team composition. And I was saying, I can't forget Zeno here, because he might be the new underdog, because from Team Panic Mode, because his damage boost was so perfect for Ezra. That's the reason, because Ezra was able to take down all the team, all the tanks, all by himself.
Indeed, multiple playmakers from the side of Panic Mode fully proving their worth in that highly professional team. Right now, though, looking at the consensus from the viewers, 19 votes, we are still looking at the underdog at 58% with the chance to win. People are hoping, people are praying for a reverse sweep from the side of Death and Taxes.
Come
Honestly,
on,
I
Death
would
and
too, because
Taxes.
it would be quite a massive accomplishment to watch. 42% on Panic Mode, that does not put them down. There are people who are completely in belief that Panic Mode will take the win as well. And this next match might just be the defining match for that as well, to see whether Panic Mode will be going forward to take home the victory, or will Death and Taxes be able to make a comeback on this tournament. Right now, like you mentioned as well, it's the matter of Panic Mod shutting down the playmaker on the side of Death and Taxes, who is Kimbula, which they constantly keep doing back to back to back. And for a team like Panic Mod, it would be strange if they do not target the playmaker on the side of Death and Taxes. Currently, from the side of Death and Taxes, though, there is no singular player that they can ban, like they can target ban on side of Panic Mode, because each player is proving quite valuable in all the team fights. How do you think, Cyrex, that Death and Taxes could wrap their head around this entire situation where almost everyone in Panic Mode is a playmaker? And how do you think they can work around that?
I think Team Death and Taxes should go to the normal team composition. Maybe three healers and two DPSs, or maybe two DPS, two tanks, and two healers, because we do see three healers from Team Panic Mode taking all the healers, and Mantis taking uh, the single tank role from Team Panic Mode, because three healers is not easy, not a easy task to take off from, because with the single DPS you can't take down the all three healers at the same time, and with a biotic and Haddox with two tanks, I don't think it's going to be really easy, because there are no dive tanks except a biotic to catch off guard the team that Panic Mode actually, because they might have to switch to two DPSs in my opinion, if they want to take a win on this whole tournament.
What you said there might just be right. They are running the triple tank composition consistently, but unfortunately, it's not working up because of the triple support composition from the side of Panic Mode. Death and Texas does need to make some adjustments, run through to a default, because I believe a change is required, considering this is the potential last matchup for Death and Texas. It's a last chance to keep this matchup going, in this grand finals going. If they stick to the same composition that they are currently running, it might be a high risk, a much higher risk than when they initially started to it, because Panic Mode has now experienced it. Panic Mode has dealt with this composition multiple times back to back to back. And right now, they probably have the entire formula sorted out to deal with Death and Texas. They need to make an offset. They need to make a change, just like they did initially on their previous matchup against Panic Mode, which was when they pulled out the triple tank composition and was able to surprise Panic Mode and take a map against them. So they need to pull out something that Panic Mode is not expecting if they want to keep this going for themselves. And like you said, the 2-2-2 might be it, or maybe they could go for a mirror on the triple support. We'll be able to see soon once both teams are ready to get into the potential last match.
Indeed, and I'm just praying, please, Death and Taxes win one match. We want to see more. Actually, we can't leave like this. We can't see 3 wins at this in continuously in this whole tournament, in this whole finals, because this finals is really exciting to see. No match, the both teams are really aggressive and really playmakers in this whole tournament. So I think the match is about to start, and let's see how things go on.
Indeed, the matchup, match number 3, Death and Taxes versus Panic Mode. Panic Mode leading by a score of 2. We'll be getting into it. Death and Taxes, being the loser of the last match, will have initial map pick off on to this matchup as well. Looks like they're currently highlighting Midtown as their map of choice. A very stable map as well. Well, actually, my apologies, it's going to be a convergence matchup, so we might just be looking at Lower Manhattan as the pick. That's curious, that's interesting. Desert Texas taking Panic Mode off on to Lower Manhattan. What do you think they're expecting from this map, considering its special mechanic of revealing players and the ult charges consistently every now and then?
Yes, actually, because the revealing part is really strange because it does show up the characters which all around the map, and also it shows the ultimate charges. So they have a really quite if the scan goes perfectly for both of the teams, they know each other's ultimate abilities percentages, so they might have a really good chance of taking down team Panic Mode here if they're able to keep the ultimates slow and steady and use them accordingly.
That is indeed true. So right now, the bans and the picks phase, once again starting off with a familiar situation where the Cloak and Dagger is banned, taken away from Death and Texas, while the Moon Knight is taken away from Panic Mode. The Gambit is once again saved for Death and Texas. Once again, I do believe Time Lord will be picking up this Gambit as well. Right now, it's anyone's game, but it's looking quite positive for Panic Mode.
Indeed, actually. So let's see. Oh my god, it's a no, no, Ezra, you can't do this, mate. What is happening here?
Oh my
Team
gosh.
Panic Mode does manage to save the Punishers for. I think it has to be extra. Actually, it has to be extra. So, oh my. And again, Rogue ban from Team Panic Mode, countering Haddocks from Team DNT.
My gosh, yes. As the Punisher save does come once again, we are expecting to see another scary matchup. It's looking like a little bit of deja vu for the third time in a row, these bans and saves.
These
Death and
bans are
Texas.
exactly the same. What is happening?
I don't know if Death and Texas figured something out just from their composition, that they're confident that these bans will be sufficient. Well, they might have, because the Star Lord is saved from Death and Texas. That's definitely a pick for Kimberla right there. And what
Indeed.
will Panic Mode do? Because that is not a save that came from Death and Texas earlier.
Indeed, I think they might be switching to two DPS situation going on in Team DNT because Starlord is not a really good single DPS to work with if they run 3-tank composition. And we do get a Squirrel Girl save from Team Panic Mode as a. I think it's gonna be a comfortable pick for both of the teams. And as we see, False God was with Squirrel Girl all this time in this tournament. So, and we get a thing ban from Panic Mode countering down a Biotic.
The right
I
heroes
think
could
the
make
dive's
all the
gonna
difference.
be a little bit too hard, and we get a ban of Mantis again countering Xenomorph from Team Panic Mode. And again, I just wanna say, if we go to the YouTube feed, we get 20 votes again, and the votes look really good actually. Team DNT again 60%, while Panic Mode on 40% in this match. So the watchers still have faith on Team DNT. So I think Team DNT might be able to take this win. Just prove what you can do actually, Team DNT, because the fans are still waiting for the win.
This is a nice
Well, well. Would you
They'll be
look
coming in
at
30
those
seconds.
bands?
Stay strong.
The Mantis banned on Panic mode. The Thing
Rita's glad
banned
to
on
have
Death
another
and Texas.
genius
Death and
around to help him
Texas.
solve this, Tony.
Well, they're
Same.
currently
He takes
running
my
the
brilliant
triple tank
ideas and makes them ever
without
so
the
slightly better.
Thing that
I'll be
Aerobitic
sure to
had
tell
become
him
quite comfortable
exactly
with.
what
We
you
do
said.
know Aerobitic as the captain player
There's
as
no way I
well,
can do
but
this
this
without
is the character that we have not touched on this competition as of yet. Would prove a bit of a difference,
The
but
battle
then
starts
there
in
it is, the
5,
Mantis bank
4,
on
3,
Panic mode, taking
2,
away that damage
1.
boost, giving Estro that
You have to
sharp
stop them from
edge on
securing
his
the
already
mission
sharp
area.
knife to kill players. Estro will still be a force to be reckoned with, just not as much without the Mantis damage boost. Right now, the teams are going at it as it is Panic mode pushing in first for the capture. Will Desert Texas be able to do a significant hold, or will Panic mode push right through? Desert Texas already has given up the initial counter choke there, and Panic mode just let him pushing out a load of damage, and then that manages to get the initial pick off onto a bike.
Seems like he's not running the 2 DPS composition. While Aerobitic discounts from the rest from Rocket and tries to take down both, but I think Force just have the help from the other DPS himself, so it seems like it's going to be really bad for DNT because the Venom is always gone away from Team Panic mode as well, and oh my god, they might have changed the route and they are pushing that Team Panic mode off to their spawn again.
And it's true, they still are indeed running the triple tank, but I feel like Captain America is a bit of a grey area. They're having a decent chunk of survivability and a decent chunk of damage from himself, while also doing quite a bit of a supportive ult that can kill his entire team overhead. So I feel like that bit of grey area might just offset the balance that they had from
They will take down people again, so this might be a good chance to take Panic mode to take the points for themselves because there are no DPS to work with this Team DNT, and they do manage to take the point for themselves with a beautiful ult from False Ghost himself.
God once again proving why he is such a known name in the community, why he's such a terrifying player to go up against, taking 3 picks just casually out of nowhere with just chucking squirrels at them. Right now, Death and Texas looking to see if they would like to do a TP off
need to
onto
stop that
Find.
vehicle in its tracks.
Need to
Gave
pull
up
it
the
off.
point. I think it seems like they gave up the point. Because Paradox did mention Doctor Strange at the start. I think he had to play Doctor Strange. Because he guys have
That is true, he'll have to stick to the top. They might just throw their competition off a little bit, or he might get a little bit of a cheap thing that might work out. A lot of us coming in from trying to get a captain as the Charlotte Ice pops out first along with the capital. That is sufficient amount of damage.
Oh my god,
as-
beautiful Kimura! Holy shit! Beautiful life from Timer himself and taking out beautiful picks from Team Panic mode here. Taking out 3 picks and everybody did manage to take out another pick as well. We didn't know who it is, but it's going well for Team Death.
That's the boost I need.
Not having that invisible ult for the combo from the other Texas, the Gambit ult and the Charlotte ult. We get a bunch of kills in them, but right now, Panic mode, they're saying it's now our turn as they turn around. And then just with the rocket ult, Ezra just walks forward, gets the pick and pushes the rest of Death and Texas back. Death and Texas still looking quite good with the ult economy as well, as both teams are coming on to a free ult take fight. We might just see a lot of ults just poured in on the next team fight, because this might just secure whether Panic mode is able to push it all the way through.
Good dive from trying to take out Time Lord himself, and oh my god, he just take out Time Lord, and oh no, he did able to take out Haddock himself because Haddock did try to save Time Lord from Team Death and X, but it seems like Nancy doing all the good work, going to the back line, choking them, choking the team, not letting the team go to the point.
Captain America ult was popped from the side of Aerobitic, but that was not sufficient for that dive that Mantis just had set up on that Venom. Quite scary, and that was enough. Pushing back Death and Texas as he just planned to just jump straight first into Panic mode and get a pick. To have failed because of that dive. This might be sufficient. I believe that the Texas should be able to get one more time, but I can't lie to you at this point. So, the Captain America does jump in. Everybody not wanting to give up this point at all. Is in along with the Hulk, Rapne, and everybody running around point, keeping it alive, and stalling as much as they can until the rest of the whole team is back, and the Capital comes into play as well, and they're going to push the Panic Mode back. They're walking back from the kills, yes, and the kills that they need, and they're going to stop Panic Mode from fully pushing through.
Ultimate from Panic Mode for everybody, securing all the healers from Panic Mode. That's a really good, well-rounded play from Team DNT. Secured the last-minute call from Team Panic Mode.
Have to give it up for Roughly, and holding it up until that Capital came. Right now, they are not letting Panic Mode push up even a little bit, and they are committing hulls to keep them back all the way at that point. And two picks are taken out, and
Only 60
the
seconds
rest
left.
of still the Texans are down one person, as now Panic Mode they are being relentless as they are walking forward, and they are looking to get picked. And Ezra, as usual, managed to get a pick this time on Kibula, a very valuable one.
Going against
Anyone willing to help?
and everybody trying his best using the ultimate to stall the point for Team DNT. But yes, I just managed to take out everybody with the wipe up a shotgun, and they don't have enough time to stall the point for Team DNT. But and they do manage to take the point from Team Panic Mode. Just managed to take the point for themselves, and I think everybody did try his best using his ultimate to secure the point, but Ezra with a shotgun. Who am I talking to? I mean, like, right
Better
here.
stop that vehicle!
That's terrifying raid boss that you just pretty much have to get across it.
You're ready for it.
So that right now,
That's the
they might just need a 7-player team to deal with Ezra at the moment. That just all coming in from A by taking. I believe the entire plan was just to burn down the block. Unfortunately, it was not sufficient. Right now, they are top from the side from the Texas as they push forward. Panic Mode falling back, giving them space, hiding that around. And what's even scarier right now, sir, than a Ezra is an Ezra with a ult ready to go.
Judge,
Has
jury,
the kind of
executioner.
oh my god, Ezra with the beam bar. Ezra just get all the hits from Team Panic Mode and shredding the monster hull from Team DNT. It might be really bad timing for Team Death and Texas here.
This is not looking too good. They will need to die. They need to knock Haga and then fall back.
Oh my god. The escape from Ezra. He was really close to die.
It's now or never!
The raid boss is almost taken down, but you don't follow the raid boss to happen. Right now, the objective is to keep walking forward as Death and Texas is getting even more staggered death on that side. Quite comfortable with where they are with 3 ults up and ready to go. 2 ults from the side of Death and Texas with a by
Wait, nice. Falling down matches away from the
We'll
map.
have to keep fighting until we have a winner!
That's the highlight in my opinion.
Double KO!
From Kibula, he managed to get an initial pick, but Zeno been a bit of shows up on the kill feed and managed to get a pick. Oh, the strafe from Zeno. Kibula is not able to secure the pick onto him, and he lives as Kibula goes low HP and then has to run away. The portal play comes in from side of Panic Mode, and they see jumping in. Texas
Coming through.
having fun of that. Everybody is running around giving his team over health, and this is running back line on Panic Mode as well. This is pop from side of Panic, and that is just enough to keep them up. Will the attack be able to secure a kill with that Gambit on play?
This is real firepower.
The ult away from Team DNT. But
A little help, please.
Have the time back to Hulk again. And Mantis taking down, trying to take down the Dialog from Team DNT, and he does manage to take out. There's only one healer left for Team DNT. And Panik does have the most Hulk to keep the point for Team DNT.
Currently, Panik would just have to just on that. Just have to just on that.
By the eye of
Again,
Agamotto!
throw a kill on Panik Mode is a lot more challenging than the affected. They will keep on plugging in and keep holding it, but right now it's just Panik Mode. But it's just managed to put a Sonic Corruption out, the shield is out from the straight, as well holds it off from reaching the rest of his team, and the Sonic Corruption is pull it up and take the salvage just behind the payload as well. Mantis just managed to get him on to head up. That is a significant pick. Right now, quite positive for Panik Mode, running quite on that sliver of overtime, and this might just be enough for Panik Mode to push it all the way through, as there's no one else.
There's another one to point, but oh no, it doesn't
Disarmingly
work out for
handsome,
Team
Gambit.
And the win,
current
and the
score is
3 points goes
0,
to Panik
2,
Mode on the first
3.
half. That was a
Time
really
to
exciting
switch
match
things up,
with this series.
including
It
which
was
side you're
amazing.
on.
Considering how fast Panik Mode
You'll
is
need
able
a
to capture
top-notch
their
team to win
initial
this one.
match, and Desert Texas actually being able to push them to, well, basically an overtime, that is very significant in my opinion. Desert Texas has every chance of winning this matchup, but they need work. Their Gambit ult and along with Starlord ult, I believe that was a combo that worked out very well. As long as they can charge that ult up faster than Kelly charges his, that might just be a winning play for them. But right now, everyone needs to lock in from the side of Desert Texas. This is potentially their last round.
Indeed, and we did
Sorry, soldier.
a beautiful performance from A-Byte
30
in the
seconds
last
before
minute
you attack.
because
Get ready.
he's using his ultimate on the last
This is
second.
not
Tries
how I
his
was
best to
expecting this day to
stall
play
the
out.
point for Team
Never a dull
DNT.
moment for our
I think
crew, eh,
A-Byte
crew?
might
I just hope we can get
have
this wrapped
picked
up
the
soon.
perfect
You know?
pick for Team DNT.
I
here.
have plans. You
Indeed,
made a
I feel
plan.
like this is the
I
peak
guess there's a
performance that
first
they
time
can
for
put out
everything.
with this composition. Aerobatic being on that Captain America has
The
actually
battle starts
been
in 5,
quite a significant
4,
presence on the backline of
3,
Panik Mode. When he
2,
ults and then jumps
1.
in, a lot of focus turns around for
All you
him,
need to
and the
do
fact
is
that he
capture the
manages to
mission
live
area.
through most of his
Got it?
encounters is a valuable thing. That is what Captain America is mostly known for, and currently Aerobatic seems to be pulling it off. But right now, gonna be a
Hostile
scary
forces
push
incoming.
for the Texas, and we are about to see
It's a
the
team play
Good
from Team
medicine.
DNT.
Outstart magic.
the team here. Not a lot of the kills coming in. Yes, but Mantis actually forced to use it overtime.
From the bridge,
Die. A lot of the kills coming in as the Doctor Strange is kept alive. Starlord similar is going around poking a bit as Kelly has to turn around left and is not able to get through for a second.
Gonna might die here because he doesn't have heal. Oh my god, he just used the teleportation in the last second.
That's the
Teleportation
most
gives
I
much.
needed.
Saw the Mantis coming in right at him. There's a scary look of that Venom's face. Mid turn around to use the TP, and he lives to be another team.
Martial law create effect. Unauthorized entry.
Yes, I think the TP play did quite
And then left flank breaking the wall, quite a popular wall break that's coming up recently. Yeah, so it's confident in this diving to the back flank and get
right. Strong managed to he managed to get both the healers onto Venom's side.
Am I invisible?
You're welcome.
right now. It's a bit of a struggle on the side of Desert Texas. They need to figure out how they need to push. They need to have a focus there. And unfortunately, that might not be the case yet, as they will need to fall back considering Zeno just manages to secure a kill for Panik and relieving a lot of the pressure that Desert Texas is currently putting on Panik.
Zeno is doing quite a lot of damage here because no one is picking Zeno except
Oh, thought you had me.
Yula, because Yula is the only one who can
I was looking for one of these.
Right now, Panik Mode has realized that Kibula is on their backline, and they do not want to give him the space to make a dive onto him with their support as he supports themselves. Though him, Foxy, Aldi out, managed to keep stabilized, but units and Alt Manuel is like that's taking out time loss. Kibula's Alt does come into play, taking out Kelly, a very valuable pick. More at the moment, might just be it, but it might not be enough as False God. The Squirrel Stampede gets two.
Tries his best to stall the team, but because of False got maximum damage, I think it's not enough time to DNT to come back to the point. It's
Only 60 seconds left.
Bank is just having ultimate again and 1 minute on the clock. I think he has to pull off a team beat or something else to take the point for themselves.
This gets probably quite a decent staggering kill on to Time Lord on that gambit as well. Mantis sets himself up on this high ground too. Right now, it's just less than 60 seconds, almost cutting off onto 30 seconds. More death and they need to make a play right now with the tank up that they have. Any picks coming from the side of Panik Mode, this might just seal the deal for Panik Mode. Captain America ult is popped out, and again, more picks are coming in from the side. If Mantis actually manages to get the kill off onto Razael on that rocket record, that is a scary pick coming off from Panic Mode, and that's a scary loss for Death and Taxes as more and more and more, and they just keep stumbling over one after the other.
And we do see a beautiful 1v1 from
You'll have to keep
Mantis
fighting
versus
until we have a
Sanity.
winner.
And we do see a Razael taking domination for a last minute
Anyone willing to help?
but when taking staying back there like a ball, stopping a team DNT trying to Adolf still managed to use the time to get force code away from time well for Adolf.
Mantis is almost just able to hold the Death and Taxes from coming to that point of the entire draft overtime. Sliver of overtime left, but Panic Mode still cool as a cucumber, gets even more and more picks onto the Tentacles. More and more people just keep falling. More and more ults come up for Panic Mode. This is not looking too good for the Tentacles at the moment, as that sliver of overtime was holding it on, and Airbytic is not able to get back onto point to touch it. Short-lived as his life was. Panic Mode takes the grand final matchup 3-0 against Death and Taxes. Wonderful performance from both teams tonight.
Give a round of applause for Team Panic Mode here, winning the tournament of from Level Up 2026, and the MVP goes to False God. We did see Ezra all this time as the MVP, but False God here taking the MVP is quite interesting to see.
God taking his gloves off in this last matchup, needed to showcase his skill as well. Looking at the scoreboard, what a significant play from the side of Panic Mode. Both Ezra and False God right now tied for that 20 final hit. So False really did pull out his number right there for that matchup. Death and Taxes, Kimbala once again highest on the final hits from the kill feed at 9. Unfortunately, the performance from Death and Taxes was not enough to push back a high performing, highly skilled team as Panic Mode. This was a wonderful matchup as Death and Taxes gave it their all, and they were able to actually put quite a bit of pressure on to Panic Mode as well, making sure that Panic Mode locked in for their victory.
Indeed, it was a really quite a beautiful match to see, because it was a really close call, because I think both teams are amazing players. They have amazing players in both of the teams. I actually thought it's going to be go for the round, fourth round or fifth round, but it seems like Panic Mode does manage to take the wins all by himself, because I don't think they don't like to lose to another team from their friend, even though they are friends. And the win goes to Panic Mode, and the grand finals of 2026 Level Up Night Serpent eSports goes to Panic Mode, and the second place goes to Team Death and Taxes. Round of applause for both of the teams, because it was a GG for both teams, and Rick,
Uh,
what are your thoughts on the last match actually?
My gosh, considering these both of these teams are players who are quite close to my heart as well, and I couldn't just pick one side for the rooting either. And man, am I happy to see a performance so well, uh, just played out from both teams. Being the mountain titan that Panic Mode Ace and Texas did they do their damnness to claw their way up that mountain, take the victory. But Panic Mode, being dominant as they always are, takes this victory. They fully locked in. They did not play around. Full respect towards their opponents, their opposing team, and takes out the victory like a set of champs definitely would. Definitely do wish that Death and Texas was able to push the match up a little bit more, but right now, just from what we have gotten, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Indeed. It's a beautiful match actually.
It is. Well, it's a matchup that a lot of people were waiting for as well, and I hope everyone tonight who joined us on this live stream for this grand finals of the Level Up Marvel Rivals 2020 tournament enjoyed themselves rooting for the teams and then seeing how the whole scenario played out and then how Panic Mode secured their victory 2026. Right. I believe everyone enjoyed themselves, and I thank everyone who joined us for tonight. Thanking all my fellow caster here as well, Cyrex joining me to cast in this grand tournament, and thank the players for giving us such a wonderful performance. And thank you, the viewers, for joining us tonight. Have a
Absolutely.
lovely evening.
Have a lovely evening, everyone. Peace out.